Welcome everyone. I was just passing by and just wanted to say hi and and thank you for buying our car, and I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, just want to give a word of appreciation for your support. And maybe there's some questions, like if you guys want to love a few questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
How much for the X?
Sure. The price of the X will be very similar to the S. So the Model 3 will be obviously the lower cost car, but that's probably 3 years away. Obviously the natural next question is, when's the X coming out? Because it has taken us longer than we thought to make it. But I am very happy with the end result. I think the X is going to be a really, really great car. And it's got some, it's really, honestly, it's going to be really, really good. And there's some things about the X that are actually cooler than anything you've seen. So like in terms of features and functionality, it's actually going to be better than the show car that everyone has seen to date. I can't say what those things are. I want them to be a surprise, obviously, but it's going to be better than what people have experienced thus far. Yeah. Okay. Great. It's like near Quebec City or something? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
My next car is I wanted to know, where are you at regarding CST?
You want to get
all over Canada?
Sure. Yeah, so we have set up quite a few already, but and I think there should be a new map of the Supercharger deployment. If it's not on the website already, it'll be going up in a few weeks, so you'll see the actual deployment. But you'll be able to drive basically from Quebec City to Vancouver. Yeah. Sorry. So you might have to dip into the US a little bit along the way, but not much. Sure.
When are you going to show us a schematics of the Model 3?
Well, we don't actually have the schematics of the Model 3. As far as unveiling the Model 3, our plan is to unveil the Model 3 next year. So this year is really is going to be about the Model X this summer, and so we'll have a big event to unveil what the final version is of the X. And then next year it'll be about the Model 3. Yeah.
We can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I mean, we're sort of having this debate of like how adventurous do we want to be with the Model 3? You know, the simplest thing to do would be to make it a smaller version of the Model S, but then we could also try to do something more radical. But I think we're going to try to do something more radical. Sure.
I'm wondering if you guys are talking at all with the state of Michigan regarding
Yes, we're definitely talking to the state of Michigan about allowing sales. I'm hopeful that they will do that. Yeah, please, anyone who's from around here, we would appreciate your support with the state legislature and the governor. We're just trying to sell a few cars. We're very tiny. It's not going to be a big deal.
Hey, I just want to thank you for your support for being here tonight. Being from Michigan, your support for your drive here in Michigan is great. We support you. We love your product, and
thank you.
We hope that you continue to invest in Tesla in Michigan.
Well, we've got a lot of suppliers in Michigan,
Right.
a lot. In fact, of the I don't know, probably 20% of the car or something like that originates from Michigan. It's pretty huge percentage, something like that, maybe 15. But it's Tesla internally produces about half the value of the car, and then there's another 15 to 20% that is in the U.S. and most of that's in Michigan. So yeah.
Do you see the X drive itself?
The X will, well, not all the time, but I mean there will be a next generation. Yeah.
Do you see
see the Chevy Bolt as a threat to the Model 3?
No, I don't see the Chevy Bolt as a threat to the Model 3 because I think eventually the whole industry needs to go electric. And
So you're welcome.
so I think there's going to be plenty of customers who would buy the Bolt as well as the Model 3. Yeah. Actually, one small note about the Model 3 is like the press slightly has it wrong with respect to the bars of the Model 3. The bars of the Model 3 are horizontal, not vertical. You notice the E on the Tesla is 3 bars.
There was a Saudi prince that said we'll never see $100 a barrel gas again. I think yesterday. Does that concern you at all?
Well, it concerns me because it's going to slow down the advent of sustainable transport, and it's going to make it economically advantageous to burn hydrocarbons for a lot longer. So before fracking, there was a natural scarcity that would drive the cost of oil and gas to levels which would cause an economic forcing function that would push us towards sustainable energy. Now with fracking technology, I think the availability of oil and gas is probably an order of magnitude greater than it was. It's basically everywhere. Everywhere is Saudi Arabia. Although not quite. In Saudi Arabia, it's really easy to get the oil. With fracking, it's still, it requires expensive equipment that does put a floor, higher than otherwise floor on the cost of oil. But I think it really increases the urgency of the need to have a carbon tax, because since we can't rely on the natural scarcity of oil, and I'm pretty sure we don't want to, increase the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by a factor of 10. That would be super crazy. Then I think there's going to need to be some sort of carbon tax, which would also penalize electricity that's generated from oil and gas and coal. So it's just something we need to do. We need to just fit. There's a kind of broken thing in the economy. Like, I'm very free market, but sometimes you have these tragic the commons issues, and the not putting a price on the carbon capacity of the ocean's atmosphere is just just an error in the economic system that we have to fix somehow. Future of Life Institute. Future of Life Institute is it's a group that was formed at MIT, sort of led by Max Tegmark, who's a physicist at MIT, and a bunch of other famous computer scientists and physicists. And I support what they're doing. I mean, they just sort of like care about existential threats. And one of the most pressing existential threats is, if AI goes rogue. If we develop it and we're not careful, they could have a really terrible outcome. So we just need to be really careful about AI and make sure it goes well, and that we, humanity, collectively want this to occur. Let's turn the back there. Oh.
Over here.
Oh, sure. So we have a lot of suppliers in Michigan, and we'll have more over time, because this is sort of the center of the American car industry. So many of our suppliers are actually headquartered right here. So, yeah.
Is there a Tesla club in Michigan yet that might let us ride on the MIS racetrack? Or
I think there's a Tesla club in Michigan. I'm not sure. There isn't. Okay. Well, hey, form one.
support us.
Yeah? Sure.
I want to congratulate you on SpaceX on the last mission to go to the Super planet. My hat's off to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very close. We did hit the ship, which actually I count as a big victory. Because the ship is very tiny when you can't even see it from space. So it was a dark and stormy night, literally. And it actually did manage to sort of hit the ship, which is amazing. So I think we've got a decent chance, actually, of being able to land it properly with making a few changes, and to make sure our hydraulic actuators don't run out of fluid and go hard over, which is kind of what happened. So I think we've got maybe a 60% chance on the next mission of landing it on the ship. That would be super great. It would be a really big thing for the future of spaceflight. Because you can imagine, like, if cars were single use, like, nobody would be driving them because they'd be so expensive for a trip. So, Sure.
You were speaking at the Congress event. Did you just do a question and answer? And what did you feel your reception?
Yeah, I did sort of a long Q&A and then did a Q&A with the press. I think overall the questions were really good. Although I think our stock price is like way down in the aftermarket, so I think probably people like maybe interpreted some of my comments a bit more negatively than they should, because I'm actually quite optimistic about where things are headed. Sorry. Yeah, new chemistry and energy density. I would really love it if there was a fundamental breakthrough in battery chemistry that actually worked and didn't have some other drawback. What we're seeing in the near term is more nuanced. It's sort of in the sort of 10% and to be something like where you could swap the pack, and so we have that operating in beta mode between LA and San Francisco right now. Where I think that really has value is probably in commercial trucking, where the trucks need to be moving constantly and stopping for 20 minutes is really expensive. And if you can swap a pack out in, say, 2 minutes, then that's translates to a significant economic benefit. So, but I think for consumer cars, it's really going to be focused on just continuing to improve the charging technology. All right, so I've actually got to fly to Texas tonight to try to find the Texas auto dealers.
Sign this real quick and then we return.
All right, thank you.
Elon, one of my child's first words were Elon.
Really?
And Supercharger plug-in.
Okay.
I was wondering if I could just get one picture with you.
Yeah, sure.
Would someone mind holding this?
Is it possible for me to
somebody?
Yeah, we can do a bunch of pictures, but I can't do like 100 pictures.
Yeah, we could do 3.
Everybody wants a picture of you.
Okay, that's a good idea. Let's do
I'm
group
only
photos.
concerned about mine.
Do one group photo.
Yeah, let's set up a group photo.
All right, we're gonna try some group photos here.
Group photos?
Come on, take it easy.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Just slide right in.
You let me out? Thank you, sir. Can you just get one?
I got like 4.
I just wanted to shake in the hand. This
You
is,
are
this is,
diehard. It's
Okay, I think you guys don't understand what group photo means. We're going to try to
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you very much.
And then we gotta get him out of here because he
For curiosity's sake, how many of you out there would like or be interested in attending the Detroit International Auto Show with me? Of course, the meatball would be there too. Smile, cheese! Yeah, it seems to be the going consensus from him lately. Anyways, I will be driving from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, straight through to Detroit. I should arrive there probably about 5 or 6 a.m. on the opening Saturday, at least at current plans. I go straight through the night. I will be staying there until we're done with the show, and then turning around and driving straight back to Milwaukee, napping during supercharging. Anyways, my thought would be is if there's any Model S drivers out there that would like to join me or drive their Model S's along with us as kind of like a little Model S caravan going from state to state, supercharger to supercharger. Given that I have a 60 battery pack in my car, I will need to stop at every supercharger, not skip any. I'll be going from the Maumee/Toledo, Ohio, I think, station, and jetting straight up from there, unless Tesla manages to get a few more superchargers online between now and then. So if you're interested, please post in the comments section, and I'll see how much interest is generated. But wouldn't that be cool? And then there's also a parking structure not too far. Well, actually, it's almost literally across the street that has 2 J1772 30 amp charge point stations with parking for 4 EVs. It's $20 a day parking, which is a little steep because of the event, but might be able to get a charge out of it too. If you've got an 85, I know you would not need to, but for us with our 60s, while we could make the round trip between Detroit and the Toledo Supercharger, I will say it was a lot more comfortable last year, not having to squeeze through. So give me your thoughts. Let's see how many people we can get.